You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
The New York Islanders. Hi, welcome to Up the Turnpike. This is a YouTube channel and podcast and Patreon where we cover the New York Islanders, who just lost 7-1 to a team that went winless over their last 13 games prior to tonight. How are you? I'm Matt O'Leary, joined as always by Mitch Anderson. Mitch, what the hell just happened?
Oh, dude, I don't friggin' know. Holy cow. I feel like the coach from Letterkenny. I just want to kick a garbage can and say, that's embarrassing! Because that's what it was. So embarrassing. I think all of us subconsciously at some level thought they're probably going to lose this game. We looked at it on the schedule coming up after the Leafs win. Buffalo hasn't won in 13 games. You're like, you know what? If they're going to win in any game, it's going to be against the goddamn New York Islanders, for sure. Okay, fine. That's going to happen. But not like this. Not like this. Holy shit, not like this.
I did not think the Islanders were going to win today after the performance they put up against Toronto and going into this game. We did the post game on Sunday morning. We did the podcast last night, and neither one of us were very confident going into this game today. But holy crap. What I'm going to reiterate. What the hell was that? A 7-1 beatdown by again, a reminder, the team hadn't won a game in their last 13.
Yeah.
6-7 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, 0-13 straight up. There's 0-13 straight up.
Fine. Yep. 0-13. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. This team is so cooked. Changes have to be made. So obvious. Islanders now have 4 days off, and I am very much looking forward to those 4 days off. But I guess we got to start breaking down this game, Mitch. We got like 55 goals to talk about here.
Yeah, and 54 of them aren't ours. So holy shit. Like, I didn't tune in right away, so I didn't see this goal happen 2 minutes in. I was behind our house. It's snowing a crap ton right now at home, and I'm freaking loving it. So I went in and prepped the dog sled loop, if you will, behind my house. This is what I was doing. And I was running. I wasn't running back. Pete was pulling me on the sled back home, and I missed this goal. So we're going to have to break it down with the visualizer for me to figure out what the hell happened here.
It was a tip. Melanson tipped it and had no idea that this went in at first. Sorokin didn't see it. Just an unreal tip. Shots here.
An overload down low, and we lose the battles. We're just losing puck battles nonstop everywhere, and then we get caught chasing, and that has been the story of our life most of the season. So like, but you know what? These happen, right? It happens, and of course, all of us who thought that they're probably going to lose. There's a few people here who are saying like, I knew they were going to lose. Right, like Anthony saying I didn't think they'd win. Right, and I know Spiz who's saying like, you don't actually have to do this today, guys. So he didn't use VR. Proud of you, bud.
Oh, good.
But there's just so much time left. Like 56 minutes, if I can do math properly, maybe 57. Like, you have so much time to turn this around, and then you don't.
So they actually, after the goal went in, the first 2 minutes, they were horrible. They came out and they did not look ready to play. And I believe it was something, I'm going to say something like 4-0 in shots when this first goal goes in early in, which is not good.
No.
Now, to the Islanders' credit, they're not going to get much credit today. And I want to crap on them, but we have to give the full story of this game, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
In between these goals, they were, it seemed like they were waking up a little bit. They weren't getting a ton of chances because we'll talk about it. Like the Sabres had an insane number of blocks, but the energy, the energy picked up a little bit from there. And then the wind kind of comes out of the sails after Kulich scores here.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing here anymore. Like again, losing battles, just not sure where we're supposed to be, not sure who we're supposed to be picking up, and then we get caught puck watching. I don't even know who to blame.
Instrument Pellick.
Yeah. Not sure who they're supposed to pick up, and then he's free to just walk in, watch it, bam.
In the back of the net. And not technically a power play goal against, but it was 4 seconds after the penalty expired. And as you see, like Lee and I forget who else what was down over here come out of the box. Doesn't matter.
Cousins, I think. Even it doesn't matter. Probably not. It doesn't matter. They're coming out of the box, so they're still not in the play. They still have a numerical advantage here. But oh no, it's 4-on-4. Right? There's only 4 players out there. Or no, Lee. Sorry, 4 is the man back.
Never mind. Yeah, okay. No, I misread that. My fault. But Lee is just coming out as the goal is scored, so he's not in the play. It's still a 6-on or a 5-on-4 opportunity.
Yeah. So, but still doesn't matter. Just dumb stuff. We're doing dumb stuff out there, and you're down 2-0 to an embarrassing team after 1 period, and it only gets effing worse. I don't want to swear. I'm so close though. It just gets worse from there. So much worse.
It does. Shots 8-5 in Buffalo's favor after 1 period of play. Start of the second period, the Islanders would take a penalty. JG Pajot hooking against the goal scorer Kulik there. And Jason Zucker on the power play makes it a 3-0 game.
Shocker that we allow goal in the power play here. And there isn't much to this. If I remember he's just fired. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like Sorokin should have had, like, he goes out with the glove and it could just completely blows past him. You're going, a good goalie stops that, or at least gets something on it. He got nothing on it, completely whiffed. I would have made that attempt. That's how I play goal in floorball. I don't actually have a glove. I did not like that from Sorokin at all.
No, but the penalty kill stats at home is just becoming an abomination of a number. You essentially 2 of the first 3 goals you give up are essentially power play goals against, and you're in a 3-0 hole. Again, going to reiterate it one more time in case my point hasn't come across, against a team that hasn't won a game in 13 straight.
Yeah, right. Easton's is saying, right? Like, Sabres snap a 13-game losing streak by scoring 7 goals. Unreal. Like, it's just, obviously they have good players on that team for sure, but they haven't been able to put it together. And that streak was going to end at some point. It's just who was going to be the dumbasses to let it happen. And it was us. An embarrassing fashion. Again, it's not like we lost 4-3 in overtime type of thing. We lost because we didn't show up. Well, that's not actually true. The underlying number says that we played relatively well. Sorry. I don't want to make it seem like, oh, the numbers are good. We got some positives here. We don't. But there are some, like, they outshot them very, like heavily. It was heavily in favor of the Islanders, but we did nothing with it. Our finishing didn't exist whatsoever. It's just, it was going to happen at some point. They were going to win at some point. The fact that we let it happen in this particular way is what makes it so goddamn rough. I can tolerate a loss, even to Buffalo, but not like this. Holy shit, not like this.
No. And we both said it, like, on this show already, on Sunday's show. We did not think they were going to win this game. It felt like a letdown game. Unfortunately, because this team, hasn't been good, but you come off a 6-3 win against Toronto, a really good team on the road. They shake up the lines. Anthony Duclair comes back, Vive's feeling pretty good, and then lay an absolute stinker. And there's still 4 more goals for the Sabres that we have to talk about, Mitch, that we haven't even gotten to yet.
2 more in this period alone. Oh my God. I don't even remember this one.
Zach Benson scores his 5th of the year. I don't know what the hell Scott Mayfield was trying to do here. Just you can't. What an awful clearing attempt from Scott Mayfield.
Absolutely. Sorokin getting the pad on that as he's still going the other way ripped me in half. Like my entire body just ripped in half.
He stopped the first one.
Yeah.
So again, like he makes an unbelievable pad save on the first one, and then the rebound is right there, obviously, for him to tip it right back in. But like, come on. Now you're down 4-0 with still essentially half the game left or 25 minutes of this game left. And it's not over. Jack Quinn gets in on the fun here to make it 5-0 with a little wrist shot here.
Yeah. Like this is another one I thought that Sorokin should have had. Yeah. They're just throwing pucks towards the net. Sorokin should have had that one. He doesn't. That's 2 on him, but that doesn't change anything. Like, if he had stopped those, we're still losing, right? At this point, we're still down. So it changes nothing. It just would have been nice to like at least have even Sorokin play. Well, I don't understand how he was in the net for the third period. I know I put it in the Discord like, oh, Hoiberger slept the third, but no.
Nope.
What are we doing here? Of all people who should understand that, it's Patrick freaking Roy, who had 9 thrown against him, and he's out there almost literally waving a white towel, and then tells the owners, I'm never playing here again. Did it to Sorokin. What are we doing here, Patty? You had this happen to you.
They ran. It felt like a run Sorokin out to dry night after he's started a million games in a row, right? They refused to play Hoiberg because Varlamov's hurt. They did pull Sorokin after another poor performance a few games ago, but this one, they don't, and we'll get into the empty net goal at like the opening face-off of the third period. But let's continue here as the Islanders do finally get on the board in the final seconds of the period as Kyle Palmieri scores his 12th of the year.
Hell of a pass from I'm not back checking Anthony Duclair, right? He's not anywhere near getting back into the play, and it breaks for him. So, which is great. And then he makes a hell of a pass to Kyle Palmieri. So, one bad play leads to a good one for Anthony Duclair, who I know I'm crapping on right now, but I also have to remember that he is just coming back from a prolonged injury. So the cardio probably isn't where some of these other guys are based on having played for the last 3 months.
And he has points in both the games he's played since coming back too.
So
like, I don't want to, there's plenty of people to rip on this Islanders team, and the whole team deserves to be ripped, but like, I don't know. Duclair hasn't played, as you said, in forever, since October, and he has 2 points in his 2 games that he's played.
Yeah, so that's good. That's a good sign. But we're not doing anything. That this is very much done. Like I don't think anyone's pathetic. Anyone who thinks this team can make the playoffs doesn't finish it. Very smart, Tim, but sentiment agreed upon.
Needs a lot of help.
There you go. Absolutely.
So down 5-1 after 2, 12 shots to 11. Buffalo had more. Let's get to the third period, Mitch, as Patrick Waugh puts, as we mentioned, Ilya Sorokin back out for the third and pulls the goalie with 10 minutes left.
Yeah. 11:36.
And Tage Thompson scores an empty net goal here, which we'll eventually see.
From downtown. Like, at that point of the broadcast, they were saying, like, oh, Bo Horvat's not going to do something silly with the puck, and immediately does something silly with the puck. Like,
the word silly barely left the mouth
of
the broadcast, and in the back of the net it goes.
Coughs it up. And as they're pointing out, they're getting outnumbered. How are you getting outnumbered? You have more players. What are you doing? At this point, he probably should have passed it. Maybe there were too many sticks in the way, and he probably couldn't get a good lane on Kyle Palmieri in front of the net. And then he just gets it stolen, and hell of a shot by Tage Thompson. But I think the big takeaway here is Patrick Roy pulling the goalie down 5-1 with 10 minutes to play. What? What are we doing here?
Have we gotten a quote yet from Patrick Roy? I heard I saw Anders Lee said we were garbage from the get-go, which is
great.
True.
Thanks.
But I haven't seen if we've gotten any Patrick Roy quotes yet. Doesn't seem to be the case.
No, I thought that'll come in a bit here. I'm sure at some point the coach is going, I believe in you guys to do something, so I'm giving you the opportunity. You want to still win the game? Here, look. I'll give you an extra skater for half of the third period. Show me that you want to win this game, and they fucking don't. I almost did it. I almost swore. They don't. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, he tried. Like the coach can only do so many things. Pulling the goalie is one of them, and he did it. Like a timeout wouldn't have helped. I don't think.
No.
Not at that point.
No.
But like maybe earlier in the game. But this is all he can do, and he did it. Like, look, try it. Go ahead. Yeah, prove to me you want to win this game, and they friggin' don't. I wouldn't blame Patrick Roy for being like, you know what, I'm done here. Like, I'm not going to do this anymore. This is ridiculous.
No, it's pathetic. It really is. From top to bottom, from Lou to the coaching staff, all the way on down to the actual players itself. It is just a truly, truly pathetic performance. There's Mitch is back.
There we go. Okay, my camera froze for some reason. I don't understand why, but yeah, just really pathetic performance. And we're not done. There's still one more to go.
Yeah. So let's get the last one. Kulik scores again.
Like, just bad play from Barzal. George isn't strong enough on the puck, and he just walks in, and Sorokin just, what the hell are you doing, bud?
No, that one was bad.
That's 3 he should have stopped. 3. So reasonably, we should have lost 4-1, which is still bad. That's still bad. But my God, just all kinds of level of ineptitude, of just not give a fuckery.
Nope. And they go into Christmas break off of this performance. Both Islanders and Rangers tied at the bottom of the Metropolitan. How about that?
Wow. Yeah. Hockey, hockey in New York is a thing to behold right now. That's for damn sure.
Fantastic. So finally, mercifully, this game ends 7-1. The few that stayed for the end booed.
And chanting Lou must go.
Which is not wrong. It's not. They need serious help. This team is not it. I don't know how else we could possibly say it. You have guys on expiring deals you could trade. You have other players who maybe have 1 year left, like Anders Lee or JG Pajot. You could throw in Maxim Siplikov. We could have the discussions about guys who are RFAs at the end of the year. There you go. Like, just this is not the team that is going to do it. They need serious changes. They need help. We could talk Alex Jeffries getting called up and playing, because like, what's the point of playing these veterans in a lost season like this?
Yeah,
it's just all bad. It's
all bad. Go home to your families, all the players. Enjoy Christmas, because once you get back, change is going to happen. It has to.
This felt like a game where they were all ready. They were home and they're like, I can't wait to hang out with the family tomorrow and the next day. I'm looking forward to our 4-day break. They played like they were already on break.
Yeah. Which, when we were on the podcast, PS, sign up to the podcast. It's patreon.com/uptheturnpike. We were talking about it. Even I mentioned, like, well, I don't know if they'll be on the beach, post Maple Leafs game. They'll be at home. They won't have that extra stress. Like, they could relax and enjoy themselves. And they did almost too much of that, it seemed. So, bad times.
We have a Patrick Waugh quote.
We do? Oh, no. Your expression is not looking good.
I don't think we were as bad as the score showed.
Oh,
we did some good stuff. You want me to play? I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. But hang on. Give me a second. I can get you to hear it in a second, please.
Like, I know what he's talking about. Corsi for 66% at 5-on-5 in the Islanders' favor. Scoring chances 67%. But like the high danger chances, 38% rounded up. Expected goals 47%. Like, nah, man. Nah, you didn't.
I mean, I don't think we were as bad as the score is.
Oh,
sure. We had what, 78 shots towards their net attempt. I mean, 28 or 29 of them hit the net. I mean, we did some good stuff, but I mean, we need to be better in our own building. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we have to find ways to win games at home. I mean, we're 2 games below 500 at home now. So we have to find ways to play better in front of our fans. Our fans deserve better performance from our team. But Um,
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me, Patrick Waugh? Lou is obviously, as the general manager, a huge reason for the failure of this season, right? And you can say maybe Patrick Waugh is further down on the pecking order of things wrong with this team. But you can't come out after you lose 7-1 to a team that just lost 13 straight games and go, I don't think we're as bad as what the score shows. You lost 7-1.
Even I, stat nerd, like guilty, charged, very much look at the stats. Yes, the Corsi numbers were great. 64% rounded up for the Islanders. 65% scoring chances for the Islanders. But it falls off a cliff from there. 40% of high danger chances. 43% of expected goals. This is in all situations. Yeah, you did a lot, but it was garbage. That's just volume. You threw a lot of volume at them, but you did nothing with that volume. That's how you win goddamn games. Obviously, that was Barry Trotz's the flip, the inverse of Barry Trotz, like quality over quantity. And they just went just quantity, guys. Hope and a prayer is what they did, and it just didn't work because, of course, it didn't.
Don't give me. I think we did some good things today. You
No.
got blown out at home against a team in a free fall.
Yeah, man.
Now's not the time for that. If you lose a game 2-1 in overtime off like a weird turnover or something like that, fine. Okay, whatever, right? But come on, that's pathetic. That just adds to how embarrassing of a night this really was, honestly.
Yeah, like Andre's saying, Juan must go too. If you can't get your team to play against the worst team in the NHL on a 13-game losing streak, then you shouldn't be the coach.
I think that the GM needs to go, and it's up to the new GM to choose the head coach, and they build out their staff, because this is the worst special teams team in the league by a significant margin. BR Open Ice had the tweet that I put in the Discord. I'll pull it up to put it on the screen in comparison to the Panthers' penalty kill is essentially just as likely to score as the Islanders' power play. Excuse me, I got to scroll back through hours and hours of tweets here. But
no, I know what you're talking about. They have scored just about as many goals as we have. You're right.
It's 12% power play to the Panthers' 10% penalty kill.
That's not okay. That's embarrassingly bad. I don't know what to do anymore. Well, like, what else do we do? Let's go through these and go through some comments and just like get on with our holiday season that I can't wait to end. Jesus, let this get over with. P.S. My kids were awful today. I love my kids to death, but they were not okay today because they're too goddamn excited for Christmas and they're not in school. And so they're bouncing off the walls and driving me nuts. And then I have this game to deal with.
Let's do the stats for you, Mitch. Shots on goal, 28. Islanders had more to the Sabres, 25. Better in the face-off dot. We know they're good on the face-off. Power play, 1 for 3. I'm essentially calling it a 2 out of 3. I know it's not technically a 2 out of 3, but I'm calling it a 2 out of 3. 0 for 1 on the power play, 12 penalty minutes to the Sabres, 8 hits, 19-17. Blocked shots, 30 fucking blocked shots for the Sabres.
Holy Christ.
Islanders 9, 23 giveaways for the Islanders to the Sabres, 17 giveaways, 6-2. Islanders with more.
Like the block shots thing, yeah, sure, credit to the Buffalo Sabres for getting in the way of those shots. Absolutely. But it also tells me that the Islanders did nothing to think about where they were placing their shots at all. And we saw that a few times. I forget who it was in the second period. It may have been Dobson. Just threw one trying to like hit someone cross ice. That was completely covered. The guy's stick wasn't even on the ice. I think it was Brock Nelson trying to establish body position with someone. Or no, it's Ryan Pulock trying to feed someone cross ice for a one-timer in. But like the guy was never at once open. Not once. And he gave up the shot. Like, yeah, well, as Walter's saying that they pass up the shots too. Like, I don't get it. They could have had even more shots on net than they had, but they chose to get fancy dancy and it bit him in the ass. It's just so dumb. God, I hate this sometimes.
an incredibly frustrating team to watch.
Absolutely. Let's get through some of these comments. Not all of them, because there's
You
quite
wanna-
a few there.
You want to do a couple? We got to do the box score game quick, and then we can close with
yes.
comments if you want to do that.
Right.
We'll not a ton of time on this, but we'll go quick. For a forward, most amount of ice time.
Brock Nelson.
No, Brock is way down, 15-16. It was Bo Horvat at 20 minutes and 2 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, I should have gone with that, but that's fine. Least Hudson Fasching?
7 minutes. 7 minutes, 15 seconds. You took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, I don't remember seeing Hudson Fasching on the ice.
Yeah. See, this is the problem. I don't look at the lineup card necessarily before the game. And so I just let my eyes tell me who's out there, and I did not see him. I didn't. I know he was, but I didn't see him. Oof. Defense, I assume, is Noah Dobson leading the way.
26-28 for Dobson. Least
Isaiah George.
13-18 for Isaiah George. Sorokin, 750 save percentage, 5 goals. 6 goals against.
Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. To comments, David Larson, in the 2000s, the Islanders would at least beat the hell out of the other teams. If we were going to lose like that, this team just gets bullied off of their own ice. There's something to that.
Yeah, I'm not saying you got to go full like Ross Johnston or Matt Rempe or anything like that, but like I show a little bit of heart.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to Trevor Gillies them and laugh at them as they're like bleeding out basically on the ice. You don't need to go and fight people, but we saw a couple skirmishes in front of the net. Not even a couple. I think one. That's it. And at the end of the game, you're fighting for your lives out there, boys. Show some life, and they didn't.
Yep.
Just really bad. Yeah, like sloppy's the worst possible outcome. Yeah. None of us were sure they would win, but we didn't think they'd lose like this. Just where else do we want to go here in terms of the comments? Pollock and Barzal. There we go. From Anthony, -4, -3. Yeah.
Not a good night for either of those guys.
No, I thought he was going to bring up Pellick. Pellick looked awful too. Looked horrendous out there. I haven't seen his plus minus.
-1, but it didn't. Yeah, I don't think he looked particularly great. Mayfield had that horrendous turnover.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say, Mitch. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I don't know what to add to that.
Well, perfect. The transition into Cleo is going, what do we do now? I'm tired of this team not showing up, and at home, this is unacceptable. Yeah. I write letters to the team, like to the owners, I suppose. Like a letter campaign to the owners. I know that might sound meek and lame, but what else are you going to do? You could put up billboards, I suppose, but I don't feel like it's at that point yet. Like Gar Snow was there for 12 years, we have to remember, and didn't do much with it. Bungled his rebuild drafting, right? He got 1 out of 5 top 5 picks right. So that's not the case with Lou. It's not going well. It is time to move on from Lou, but it's not billboard level, in my opinion, at all whatsoever. But like letter writing campaign to be like, can we do something soon yet? Like Andre's saying, why haven't we made a move yet? What are we doing here?
Yeah. I mean, the team started making moves right before the roster freeze. There was like 3 trades before the rosters froze. It's time. Brock Nelson, get ready to learn Dallas Stars. Kyle Palmieri, we'll send him somewhere. I don't know. And anyone who's not a part of this group going forward, it's got to be cleared out, man, and just end this absolute waste of a season.
Yeah. Maxwell is saying, I personally think this is a wise system. The team defense needs to be overhauled, but for our D to be this bad just seems like it's a wise doing. It's hard to argue against that. It really is when you see results like this.
It is. They were also horrendous under Lane Lambert too. So
True.
like it makes me start to think that it's the players as well. So yeah, I don't think it's probably both, right? Like I don't think it's just the system or it's just the players. But yeah, it's not good.
But remember under Lane, like he tried to play a more fluid defense near the start of that year in his first full year, and it was working. And then it stopped because he realized, oh crap, I don't have the defense to do this sustainably. and then he changed it up, and that also didn't work. So you're right. It's a little bit of both. And Patty's like, I'm doing this goddamn thing. And our defense is like, we can't do it. We're just not good enough to do this, guys. And we're finding out the hard way. So yeah, that's not great. This video, at least we still lead the NHL in making bad teams look good. No one does it better than us.
Yep.
Which is true. We're really good against good teams, but really bad against bad teams. It's ridiculous.
They're horrible at home too, man. Like
Yeah.
it's unreal how they play in comparison to when they're on the road versus at home.
It really is. I don't understand how a team can be this bad at home and also be really good at 5-on-5, guys. It makes no sense that this team is so good on the road and so good on 5-on-5, but can't win hockey games. I understand, like, you'll say special teams, and rightfully so, but like, my gosh, this is absolutely ridiculous. It's just like my camera stopping.
We have, while you're fixing your camera, I'll give you Waz's quote on leaving Ilya Sorokin in. I spoke with Piero after the second. He thought that Ilya had to fight it through. At the end of the day, he's the goalie coach, and I will respect his decision. So it sounds like he was looking for input or info from the goalie coach, Piero Greco. Piero says to Patrick Roy to leave Sorokin in there, have him take his lumps. And that's exactly what happened tonight. Ilya Sorokin takes his lumps with a .750 save percentage. And this game wasn't all on Sorokin. He was not good enough. The whole team in front of him wasn't good enough also. They gave him absolutely no help whatsoever tonight in this game.
I don't know what the hell happened there. I think Windows went through some sort of random update and just destroyed my computer. Either way, I heard what you were saying about the goalie coach. That sounds really stupid.
What? Yeah, I don't know why, but
and again, Patrick Roy has gone through this very famously. Everyone knows it. So he should have been like, no, I don't think so. That's really dumb. It sounds like he's going to hold that as a scapegoat. Like, yeah, I didn't play. I followed the goalie coach, was told to do that, and I did it. Absolutely ridiculous. And like X Pun is saying, this is a comedy show at this point. Yeah, it's really, really, really bad. Connor saying start the rebuild, keep Sorokin, but trade everybody else. I mean, you got to keep some of those longer contracts because they ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
What do you think about this? Minnesota trading for Nelson and giving Johansson in second round plus.
I have no use for Marcus Johansson on this team. That doesn't help me. And a second round pick is not enough for Brock Nelson.
No. It's to me, Boldy or Rossi. I think if Rossi's got the fewer points, Rossi's got to come back and a second for Brock Nelson.
Yeah, if that's the route that you want to go, which I get it. Like this guy's does a wild pod, so I appreciate the input here, and I get it. Like Brock Nelson from Minnesota would be a good play for them. I just think it would take more than that. I mean, the comparable we brought up, this is granted a few years ago, and Bo Horvat was younger, but yeah, for Horvat, it was a first, Anthony Beauvillier, and a top prospect in Atu Ratu. So I think it's going to take at least a first round pick to get Brock Nelson.
Like we're talking about a guy who's got 13 points in Marcus Johansson and is 34 years old. No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not what we're looking for here.
Not even close. Yeah, Rossi, it has to start there, which why would they do that as well, right? He's got 27 points, 34 games at 23 years old.
Right, he's been good, but if you want it to be a second round pick, it has to be a roster player of that caliber.
Yeah. Here's one for you, buddy.
I've said this for a few weeks now. Andre says, would Dallas offer up Stankoven for Nelson? If they're looking for a player of that caliber, they would have to move off one of their younger guys. And Stankoven's a guy that I would be all over. Yes.
Yeah. And he's slowed down, right? So he's not as productive as he was earlier. So he's only got 1 point, 2 points in his last, not even, it's even worse than that. Like 3 points in 15 games. He has slowed down considerably. So his value is not nearly as high as where it was. So yeah, that would be great. I would love Stankovic. Although Rusnishnikov has to be like, what the hell? What the? I'm a short king too, guys. Why did you do me?
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, and then I guess the last one here. I think this is at least from what I saw, anyways. Lou is not selling. Ownership needs to fire him. If they have too much respect for him, he's not getting fired. Then no one leaves until the offseason. Nelson Palms walk. The team sucks for years. It's very doom and gloom there, but I think they have enough respect for him that they'll do right by him. I think.
Yeah, and hopefully he has enough respect for the game itself to be like, clearly this team isn't going anywhere. We need to get something back for, because I think even like, let's say Lou's delusional for a second and thinks that he's going to be here next year. He's got to set himself up for the best case scenario too. And that is clearly not holding on to Brock Nelson and Kyle Palmieri and letting them just walk in free agency.
No, you can't do that. You have to recoup those assets. I would hope that is painfully obvious to him, because it's painfully obvious to everyone else. Something that obvious, I shouldn't be able to notify something or see something that obvious. I'm not someone like Lou Lamoriello. I don't have the knowledge that Lou Lamoriello has, and yet he should be able to identify the assets that he could be letting go of here or just leaving on the table if he doesn't trade Brock Nelson and Kyle Palmieri, let alone the other guys that we've talked about earlier.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's and I think that'll do it for this one. We're 36 minutes in, and it's Christmas Eve. Happy Festivus to all of you who celebrate. A better holiday than Christmas, in my opinion.
We aired our grievances with this team.
We did it. Does anyone have an aluminum pole? Anyone? This is made out of aluminum. It's kind of poly. There we go.
It counts.
There you go. Love it. So, anything you want to get off your chest before we hang out for the holidays or hang up for the holidays?
Mitch, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I hope everyone watching has a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever holiday you celebrate. I hope you enjoy with friends and family. And most importantly, enjoy your 4-day break from watching this team.
Yeah, enjoy. Merry Christmas to you, Matt. Have a lot of gravy if you can. Mushroom gravy, baby.
There you go.
And all of you watching and listening at home, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton. The like button as well. It's just these passive things that you could do that help the channel immensely. So thank you to everyone who's done it. Thank you to everyone who will do it. And Matt, I will see you soon, buddy.
Sounds good. I will talk to you very soon, my friend. That'll do it. I'm Matt. He's Mitch, and we'll catch you next time.